All right, all right, all right. I think we're live. I think we are. Let me see this here.
You have two choices.
Yes, we are live. I think we are, aren't we? All right. Oh, yes, we are. We're live. All right, cool. All right. So, traders, what I want to do in this session here is I want to walk you through my biggest trading mistake that I made, that I've made from time to time throughout this year. And the reason why I'm doing this session for you today is because I want to help you with your trading moving forward. See, there's so many areas that you need to know to become a good trader, right? We know that. Apologize for doing that. So, but there's this one thing that I've noticed when I look back in time, when I look back over my trading career, the number one thing that has caused me to go backwards, there is number one thing. There is one area that has caused me to go backwards. There's one area that has stopped me from making the progress I want. So when I'm looking back over time, over the last, say, even for the last 12 months, times when I've done really well and times when I've not done so really well. I'm not perfect, and yes, there are times when I just totally screw it up. Meaning I overtrade. I'm not paying in this session here that the number one thing that stopped me. And I really want you to think about this with your trading moving forward into next year, okay? So before I start that, guys, let me start off with the typical disclaimer here. Guys, do not place a trade based on what you see in this session today because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets. And trading and becoming a good trader takes a long time to become a good trader, right? So be smart about the way that you're trading. Also, guys, if you haven't grabbed your free trial to the Master Trader Lab monthly, then make sure you go to mastertraderlab.com, or there should be a link in the description there, mastertraderlab.com. Plus, I'm also giving away all these bonuses as well too with the free trial. So go to mastertraderlab.com right now to grab your free trial and also access to all these bonuses and monthly trainings every single month as well too. So let's get straight into today's session. Sorry about that, guys. So one thing I want to share with you guys, and one thing I want to share with you with this is this. Okay, looking back over the last 12 months, the first thing I must say, guys, is that whenever you're looking at the markets, let me see if I can bring up a little bit of a Snagit tool here. This is the Snagit tool I use, guys, if you're wondering what I use. The very first thing that I must say, guys, is whenever you're trading the markets, that I strongly recommend, if you truly want to make progress this year, seem like you want to start to actually move forward in the markets in a big way, then the very first thing you must know is, what are you looking at? Like, what sort of system are you trading? What sort of pattern are you trading? What sort of setup are you trading? And my recommendation is to trade with the trend, right? Because we know, even looking at this chart here, the highest probability trades are with the trend. So what sort of system are you after? And then the next thing is that that one thing I recommend you doing to understand this is to record every trade you take. I mean, have a spreadsheet and screenshots of every trade that you take. Record and then review. Say once, even just once a month. Once a week is good, but even just once a month, you want to review all the trades that you've taken. Even if it wasn't a trade that you shouldn't have taken, put it into the spreadsheet. Even if it was a trade that you shouldn't have been in there, put it into the spreadsheet. If it was a trade that that didn't meet the rules and you know that, don't put it into the spreadsheet. This is where you got to be 100% honest with yourself, and then improve. And then improve. So after you record, so after 1 month, then you say, okay, then this is a recording here into a little spreadsheet, okay, of all the details of every trade you take. So what I like to do is I like to have the date. The stock that if it's stock, the stock that I'm trading, if it was an option, if I traded the option, and so on and so forth. What day did I get in? What day did I get out? And also have some comments there as well too. So I put everything in there, all right? Everything into that spreadsheet. because that's the most important thing that you're going to do to see moving forward, right? Because that's the reason why we need coaches, don't we? Because it's always hard. It's always hard for us to see our mistakes on what we're doing moving forward, right? That's always the hardest part. And at the end of the day, guys, it's never the trading system or the market that gets you. It's never that. It's always us that gets us. It's our impatience and not discipline and all those other areas, right? You know, and that's the reason why I'm doing the Master Trader Lab monthly, is because I want to be able to teach you guys these other areas that really do matter if you want to become a master trader. You know, and it's not to say that I'm perfect. No, I screw up from time to time as well too. But I recognize how to get back on the bandwagon really quickly to move forward. But I'm saying right now is that this process here, we're having a trading system and then recording, reviewing, and improving. When I go back over time, and especially like even this year myself, right? Even this year, if I go back over, say, the last, say, 6 to even the last 12 months of every single trade that I've taken, I can see a lot of things, right? Because again, in the mix of everything that we're doing, right, there's a lot of emotions going, there's a lot of things happening, right? So you can't really see what you're doing wrong in that very moment. We don't, and that's the reason why we don't recognize in the moment, right, of we're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And the thing is that when I talk to a lot of clients on the phone, one of the biggest things that I see is that they think they're doing something different. They may approach the market, say the stock market away. They say the stock market wasn't for me, so then they'll go to the futures market, and they will approach the market in the exact same way. And I share with them, you're doing the exact same thing but expecting different results. You're just doing it with the different markets, and they don't recognize that. The best way for me to be able to recognize that within inside myself is, firstly, I have a coach. So I go to my 7-figure coach, but on top of that, I record, I review, and I improve. Now, what is that? Simply means I'm recording everything I do, because, you know, I might trade 1 month and do really, really, really well, right? Now, there was habits. There was something that I did that month that allowed me to do really, really well. You know, especially like my last 3 months have been incredible. Like this really, really, really amazing to year to finish the year off. You know, but there's been parts throughout this year, right, that I've done really bad. Like there's been months that I've totally screwed it up and think, damn, why the bloody hell did I do that? Like, you know, I mean, you know, like I might have lost maybe 10% of my account in a month. And so when I look at that, it's the thing is that I say, okay, cool. Now, because I record every single thing, I can look back over time. So, okay, cool. This month here, I did really, really good. This month here, I did really, really bad. Let's see let's see the common themes, the common characteristics of where I need to improve on to keep getting better. And by stepping back and by looking at all the trades, then going back to the spreadsheet and going back to the actual trade itself, then I can start to improve on my entries. I can improve on my entries. I can improve on my timing in the markets. But without me stepping back to record, review, and improve everything that I'm doing, I cannot make progress. Right? What you don't measure, what you don't track and measure, you can't improve on. So depending on where you're at in the markets and depending on where you're at with that, the number one thing that I've done throughout my trading career, and especially this last 12 months, that has made a massive difference is that record, review, and improve process. And I'm telling you right now, the number one biggest mistake that I have always made when I go backwards, and I look back throughout this year, right? If I look back throughout my entire this year, I've had a few months this year where I've just totally screwed it up. I'm like, okay, instead of me being down on myself, because I took all the details of every single trade I took, and then I went back over time to see those trades, I can now step back and say, okay, logically, without the emotions involved with it, because when we're trading, right, there's emotions involved, but logically, where am I going wrong here? Where do I need to improve on? And I'm telling you right now is that the few months that I've gone backwards this year, the times when I've gone backwards have always been when I've over traded. Now, especially when I looked at that, when I see them, it really comes down to this. When I've had amazing months, like my last few months have been amazing, guess what? I've traded very little. I haven't traded a lot, but the win-loss ratio has been massively high, like 90% plus. And that's the reason why I've had a very successful few months, especially these last few months. Right? Because I haven't actually traded a lot. I've only traded setups that are very high probability. And so, should I say a little, a little, but the times when I've gone backwards, the times when I haven't done well in the markets, especially this year, right? And if I'm just looking at my last 12 months and I've done that, I looked at it, I was like, okay, the number one thing that stopped me from moving forward is me wanting to trade more, me wanting to be in the markets, me being very emotional, me just wanting to trade everything that moved. And the more that I traded, the less that I made. In fact, I actually went backwards. The less that I traded, which simply means when I was trading less, I was always just waiting for those very crystal clear setups. See, some of my private clients, they say, yeah, John, I know the A+ setups work out almost every single time. I know the A+ setups, like with my coaching, right? And you know, they say, John, yeah, again, that with my private clients, they say, John, I know the A+ setups work out almost every single time, but there's actually not a lot of them. There might be only a few trades a month. And I'm like, well, what else do you need? Right? See, and one of the biggest things out there is that people think that more trades equals more money. More trades equals more emotions, equals more mistakes, equals you getting in and getting out at the wrong time, and so on and so forth. And it's just a whole thing there. I personally have never been able to do well out of the markets from trading a lot. So that's the reason why I would prefer. That's the reason why, and I would say for most of you guys, and guys, give me why in the chat box if that's you, is that you do better on less trades overall, but high quality setups. That way you're not as stressed, you're not as overwhelmed, right? But if you're trading a lot, you're stressed and so on and so forth. Now that me wanting to trade a lot has always came back down to a fear in me. The fear in me the fear in me was always that there's not going to be another good setup, or I want to make this amount of money per month. See, trading successfully long term is never about that. And one of the most important things that I've learned from my mentor is that we need to look at our trading like I'm a short-term trader. The short-term trader simply means I like to be in and out of a trade, sometimes as low as as low as say 1 to 5 days, because I'm just in and out in very short time frame. It might be that type of trade, or I might be in and out of it for a few weeks, or some of the trades I'm in right now, I'm in it for a few months or more, right? But I'm not in it for years. So I'm a short-term trader, but I need to have that short-term trader mind, but with a long-term plan, a long-term view. And if I look at and what most traders do, right? And when I've gone backwards, whenever I'm trading the markets and I look at my trading, if I'm trying to make money every single day, if I'm trying to make money every single week, then what ends up happening? I end up going backwards. I trade a lot. And then before you know it, you've gone 2 or 3 months of this and you're just praying to be back at break even. So, but where with the opposite, the person who hasn't traded a lot, he's only traded, he may have only traded 2 times over the period of 3 months, but his account is actually up. So by you trading, by me trading less, the months that I've kicked butt this year, or the periods of months, sometimes it's been several months in a row that I've absolutely kicked butt, guess what? I haven't actually traded a lot, and my account has just kept nicely growing. And because I'm jumping on really quality trades, I'm a lot more confident to put a bit more of my risk on those trades because I'm confident in those setups, and therefore my account even grows even faster. But when I stop and I slow down, when I'm trying to rush it, and the reason why I'm rushing it is because I'm just fearful, right? I'm fearful that I'm going to miss out on the crash. Like I spoke to someone just recently, like I want to get in there because I'm fearful I'm going to miss out on the crash. It's a psychology thing. It's a mindset thing in the markets, okay? Remember, guys, that everything is opposite really when you're looking at the markets. When everything seems really, really, really good fundamentally in the markets, it's pretty much the top. When everything's really, really, really bad in the markets, it's pretty much the bottom. A lot of things are opposites in the markets. Okay, so this has been one of the biggest things out there for me, has been over trading, and people think that, and people that come into this industry think, okay, well, more trades equals more income. That's the blatant statement there, but that's not the truth in the markets, right? The truth in the markets is the more trades, the more emotions, the more you're likely to screw up. Even if you did have a good win-loss ratio, you're likely to screw it up, and so on and so forth. And so one thing I want to encourage you to do is, firstly, what sort of setup are you looking for? Are you just getting in and getting out based on whatever, based on a YouTube video, based on something else? Because if that's the case, then you're not going to make the true progress. True progress comes from confidence. Confidence comes from doing something again and again and again and again, and recording, reviewing, and improving. When you record your setups, you can go back over time and have a good look at yourself and say, okay, what am I doing? Because it's never the market that gets us, guys. It's always us that gets us. All right? It's never the market that gets us. It's always us that gets us. Right? And we know that deep down inside is that the reason why trading is so difficult, it's not the market that we have to worry about. It's like, it's always, excuse me, it's always us forcing it or rushing it or trying to it's always us. It's always us. We're not consistent. We're not disciplined. We're over trading. What we call the mindset error, right? So this is the number one biggest things my number one biggest mistake trading in the markets has been trading way too much. And the times that I think that I haven't had a trade for a few weeks, sometimes I don't have a trade for a few weeks. I'm like, I've got to find a trade. And I'd force it. I'd force something. I'd create some sort of a story up on why that was a trade. And then guess what? That was a losing trade. And I look back over time, like I shouldn't have been in that thing. And so now I'm actually going backwards by trying to force it. The number one successful thing, my coach right now is a 7-figure coach. He said, John, I'm so successful in the markets, not because of the trades that I take, it's because of the trades that I don't take. I'm so successful in the markets, not because of the trades that I take, because of the trades that I don't take. And again, you got to think about that for a minute. Most traders are not moving forward because of all the crap they're taking. Their standards are very, very low. One of the best things I've learned from my mentor is keep your standards high. You know, if there's only going to be one trade for the month, but that's a plus setup, then there's only that one trade for the month. If there's going to be one trade a week, there's going to be one trade. We can't force the market. Some months I've had no trades, and other months I've had a couple of trades a week. See, for me, I can't be an active trader myself, meaning I can't get in and get out, 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. It's just an adding and subtracting and all this sort of stuff. I cannot personally do that because it creates so much emotion inside of me, and I always go backwards by doing that. But whenever I just wait and wait and wait, then that's the key there. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, guys. Please think about this within your own trading. Ask yourself, where do you need to improve on? Ask yourself, where do you need to keep moving forward? What do you need to work on this year? Is it the system? Are you actually sticking to some sort of a system out there? Like, it could be anything really. It's not, but it's never the system, is it? It's always, I guarantee. And whenever I speak to some clients on the phone, it's never the system. When they really dig it down to, like, I was trading this system here and it was doing really well for a while. I'm like, okay. And then I drill it down, and then I find out that they either weren't consistent enough, they weren't disciplined enough, and probably the last one, which is the big one, they weren't patient enough because they try to force it, right? And this is the way that most traders think, well, I'm going to have 2 trades every single week. That's not how the markets work. You might have a trade this week. You might have one trade this month. You might not have a trade for a couple of months. And that's okay as well too. the most successful traders that I've seen that do really, really, really well out of the markets, like really well. We're talking like just phenomenally well. We're talking seven figures plus, by the way, guys. Not 6 figures here. We're talking about people that do 7 figures. I've been privileged to be mentored by 2 of them, and they don't trade a lot throughout the entire year. That builds their confidence, that builds their account. And then from that's when they start to have the ability to start to put on a lot more money per trade. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, guys. Let me now go through some questions and I'll and if you guys got any questions at all, then I'll be happy to answer them out. Once again, guys, make sure you go to mastertraderlab.com to grab your free trial to the Master Trader Lab monthly and to grab all your free bonuses as well too. Hello, John. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. No problem. I appreciate that. Daniel Jeffrey. Hey, John. I tried doing the special offer for the video after I joined the membership, and when I tried buying it, it said missing item. Can you please check that as? Okay, thanks for that, Daniel. I appreciate that, man. I'll have a look at that. I'm not sure why that's missing item. I'm not sure why that's saying that. I'll have a look at it and see what's going on there. Hey, John, buy gold and silver. They are very oversold. Well, they may be very oversold. P. But again, it's like, are you getting in now because you think it's the bottom? And so on and so forth. Yeah. Trade less, win more. Yep, I like this. I like short stocks. You don't want to ever have a blatant statement on the market. So you don't want to say, well, I like short this, right? Because there could be some really good bullish mining setups coming up. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So yeah, you just got to be able to what's the word for it? Yeah, don't ever have a biased view on the markets. Just say, okay, I'm going to trade what I see, not what I hope for. Hey, John, can you make a more technical analysis on silver? Sure, I will do a bit later on. Silver broke out of a range with a good volume last week. How long do you think the bounce will last? Are you talking about in the stock market there? No problem. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I love the lesson. When you say trade with the trend of a higher time frame, do you only look at shorts in the current trend, or do you play the relief rallies? Well, Daniel, for me personally, my man, if the market, for me personally, if the highest probability trades are with the trend, my trading system is with the trend. So I'm not just trading with the trend or whatever. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to do that. My setups are always with the trend there. Always with the trend. So I hope that helps out. Yeah, so Daniel, I'm not sure if you heard that before, but my trading system is always with the trend. I'm not just trading because I think it's a good idea. Yes, sir. SPY is going down long term, but for now, maybe heading north for a few days, weeks. Maybe. I see a lot more downside based on what the charts are telling me right now. Yeah, definitely, Daniel. Definitely. All right, guys. Well, thank you for that. Have an amazing day, guys. I hope this really helped you out, and I'll see you next time.